I point the camels out to you now because they're just barely visible now, and as we pull forward, they disappear altogether. Forward of the train at the top of the hill by the rectangular food bin. These are dromedary or one-hump camels. Contrary to popular myth, camels do not store water in their humps. The hump is where they store fat. Rhino portrait. See the male putting his head on the female's hind end? Now these white animals with the rust-colored necks are scimitar horned oryx. They're from the vast deserts of North Africa and are especially adapted for living in dry conditions. A camel can go 20 days without drinking water. These oryx can go their entire lifetime without ever drinking any water. They get all the moisture they need from the vegetation they eat. Scimitar horned oryx. On the right side of the train, the tan animals at the food bin are Patterson's eland. Eland actually are antelope, but are commonly called African cattle. Patterson's eland. We'll pull up to the right-hand side and take a look at the tallest animals in the park. And some more rhinos. Oh, but look to the left. These are Ankole cattle. Ankole cattle were domesticated about 6,000 years ago before written history, but they are believed to be the ancestor to the Texas Longhorn. The one with the longest horns is a cow. That is a female. Both females and males. Both cows and bulls carry the long horns, which grow about 7 feet tip to tip. The bench you're sitting on is about 7 feet to 18 feet. And mother giraffe give birth standing up. That means a 6-foot drop. Head first. Straight to the ground for the babies. Ouch. But it does break the umbilical cord, and the shock gets a baby to start breathing. The 3 baby giraffe out there are 2 months, 2 months, and 5 months of age. The rhinos are southern white rhinos. They are the symbol of the park, our mascot. Like most rhinos, they are notoriously difficult to breed in captivity, but we solved that problem many years ago, and have now had 83 of them born right here. Southern white rhinos have become the only rhino species that is not on the endangered species list. They have been upgraded 1 notch to the threatened category. Southern white rhinos. There's a pair of animals closer to us on the grassy hillside. They're called Nile lechwe. The male is a mahogany brown with a white shoulder patch and horns. The female is solid orange. These animals are sexually dimorphic. Sometimes nature places different demands upon the males and the females, and they develop the different coloration patterns. People are sexually dimorphic because men and women look different from one another. Nile lechwe. Nice look at the giraffe out there getting a handout from the photo caravan truck. If you'd like information on prices and scheduling for photo caravan tours, inquire at Guest Relations. Guest Relations is at the park entrance. As you can see, by now the animals have become pretty friendly. They've sort of come to know the photo caravan tours as the ice cream truck. To our right side, there is a single tree, just this side of the sprinklers.
Cool.
To the right side of the train, you'll see some more South African animals, including in the foreground in the shade of a tree, a set of rhinos with their young son. See, I think he just turned, let me think, he'd be 13 months now. This is baby 82 of 83. So that little baby rhino we saw before was essentially a week old. This one is essentially a year old. Look at the size difference between them. Also out to the right side, there's 2 kinds of dark brown animals. The ones with the sweat back horns, those are the sable antelope. They're exhibiting a natural behavior called an alert circle, all facing outward, looking in different directions. This way they have a pair of eyes, ears, and nose on the lookout for predators at all times. Sable cattle, they kind of look like plain old brown Jersey cows, but these are Javan Bantang. They're an endangered species of wild cattle. The best view is from the rear because they all kind of look like they've been sitting in white paint. Chaban Bantang. In the foreground, in the shade of a tree, there are some lovely spotted deer. These are European fallow deer, spotted only during the warm seasons, which in San Diego is pretty much spring, summer, and fall. In the wintertime, if our climate gets cold enough, they are solid without any spots. European fallow deer. And those big black animals in the pond, sinking low, those are the domesticated water buffalo. There's two of them to the right of the island. Domesticated water buffalo are the animals that pull the plows for the farmers in Asia. Hence their nickname, the tractor. Somewhat unusual to the USA, but quite common. There are 75 million worldwide. For those of you that like pizza, you may be interested to know that the milk of the domesticated water buffalo is where we get true mozzarella cheese from. A buffalo cheese. This is a type of camouflage, a specific type of camouflage known as cryptic coloration. Cryptic coloration is being... The next animals are coming up to the left side of the monorail, to the left-hand side. In a very special environment we call the mountain habitat. We do place the food bins at the very bottom, and we are arriving at supper time, so you'll see a lot of animals at the bottom. But there might still be some. The sheep with the curved ram's horns are European mouflon. The others are Siberian ibex. Also goat antelope. Sometimes people wonder how we built a habitat for mountain climbers. Actually, it was not that different. They stripped it of every living twig. It, which was born yesterday. Babies of most species are born tan in color. Even the zebra and the giraffe will probably give birth in about 2 weeks.
She's starting to isolate herself already right here underneath the tree. Standing, of course, at her back.
Not really found in the wild anywhere. Coming up on the left side of the train are the black rump. But you can tell our birds from the local birds when the birds are in flight, because our birds have one wing that is slightly shorter than the other. We are required by federal... Underneath the big tree, we can see the deer there. These are California mule deer. They're not ours.
Acá sentado filmando a quien viendo el mapa. Papi. Y ya acá diciendo.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
All 11 elephants having. Well, we're in for success. Better be carrying the ladder around. Very good, Chuck. Very good. In the shows for a long, long time. She's a veteran at this, and he's a leader of a herd and responsible for everything. Right. You know, it's just somebody left one of the toys out. Oh, and he's going to pay close attention to on how well Mary can throw. Little bonding, if you will. Well, we have Nita go center stage. About half the audience. Right. After we yell Nita up, we got to bang our feet.
But like I said, there's a couple of reasons as to why we see what she found. What'd you get?